Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Saurabh and we have possibly one of the most diverse and experienced panel out here, ranging from music to marketers to artists to film producers. I was chatting up with them outside and I realized there is so much experience in just right here in this panel. I think what we are here to talk about today is partnerships and collaborations, right? And that's something that my business thrives on. I can only grow in this industry if I have the right kind of partnerships and collaborations. And it's not just to create a service, but also to create a product or create a communication. I think partnership is the essence of everything that's going to happen in this industry as we move forward in a very, very dynamic industry with digital and influencers and creators. And I was talking to someone and they were telling me influencers was something that was 2 years ago, and now it's mostly about user-generated content that's going to be the next big thing. So I actually have my first question for Preeti. You have the mic, right?
Hello.
I wanted to talk to you about how do you define an authentic partnership experience, and what has been the most successful experience that you've had so far?
Okay, so first of all, I come from the world of music and culture. I run a music and culture agency within Universal Music Group. If you look at it, music sits at the center of all the passion points, whether it's travel, lifestyle, sports, gaming, music sits at the center of it. And that means if you have to, that your consumer is a fan of an artist. So actually it's as authentic as it can get, that today if you dole out a television commercial to your Gen Z audience, the chances are that they would reject it. The Gen Zs, they believe in authenticity and they believe in power of real. So that's where artistry and authenticity really works well. Whatever campaigns or whatever collaborations that we do are basis the fact that this is the persona of the brand. This is what the brand looks like if the brand would have been a human being. And this artist or this collaborator is closest to the persona of the brand or the message of the brand. That means tomorrow, if you are looking for a Badshah, I will never suggest a Hanuman kind to you. So that's where authenticity lies for us in collaboration.
That's interesting. Thank you, Preeti. My next question is for Rajesh. I think you are, in the business of precision and time. And this is a brand that's built on legacy. So I wanted to ask you, how do partnerships add modernity without losing authenticity? So how do you continue to stay relevant? And because this is a dynamic, universe, how do you continue to stay relevant and yet authentic?
Thanks, Saurabh. That's a very interesting question. Of course, you rightly mentioned, I come from Seiko, a company which has been over 100 years old in watchmaking. And today it's very important to build in that, cultural authenticity for bringing the partnerships. We also believe in working with partners and, bringing the modernity who share the same narrative or purpose. Right. I think that's what today the consumer looks for. How do you bring relevance to them? And because we come with a lot of heritage and craftsmanship, so we try to blend in all of this into when we look at bringing in modernity into our products, into our touch points and all of that. That's how we've been creating experiences for consumers.
Very, very interesting. In fact, I have a case study but we have a brand called Filmfare. All of you must have heard of it. It's a iconic legacy brand, and we have been getting into rooms every day about saying how do we make it modern and yet not Filmfare lose its value of what Filmfare stands for. So thank you for that answer. That actually helps a lot. I think my next question is for Gayatri. Largely, I want to understand, and she and I were talking outside, and there's some really interesting international collaboration projects that she's working on. I wanted to understand, how do you identify partners when you are going about looking for partnerships? Like, what is that alignment that you look for?
So first and foremost, thank you so much for this, and it's amazing to be in such a diverse Bright Minds panel, and fantastic. And I've been interacting with everyone, and it's kind of great. It's a great question, Saurabh, because Collaboration and partnerships are basically based on, first and foremost, is shared values. That is something, that's the fundamental thing is the shared values and the culture. Like currently, I'm producing the first ever Taiwan-India co-production, and you'll be amazed the kind of similarities that we have between those two countries. And what we've done is we've done a huge culture meld between the two, in terms of content. Bringing in, it's basically a buddy comedy. It's, let's say, Rush Hour meets Tomb Raider kind of a thing. But we have brought in a lot of mysticism. So it's about these two boys. They are faced with a demon. It's called Demon Hunters. And they are using, the Indian guy is using his method, our Indian method to conquer, and the other guy is using he's using the Taoist method. But they both are but the objective is one. So similarly, in collaborations, whether it's between the countries, between partnerships, or between any product, the whole idea is where are we adding what are our core values, alignment. Second is the culture meld. And the third is the authenticity, like Preeti mentioned. So I think these are such important factors for any partner collaborations. And also, what is the kind of longevity that we'll have? Now, when any kind of campaign, like one thing that comes to my mind in terms of a great partnership is between Michael Jordan and Nike. And similarly, like when we were having a chat, the gentleman, Prashant, was like we were talking about, and he was with Sia Rams, and everybody kind of said like coming home to Sia Rams. The whole idea is the longevity also works so beautifully, and the recall value, and that once that connect comes together, I think then it's a winner. If that doesn't come together, then it's just a transaction or a force fit.
I think that explains. But I have a question actually as a follow-up to that. When you're looking for partners, and because you're looking for international partners, what are your key parameters to say, okay, I'm going to work with this person or this partnership? How much of it, like for example, I could be an absolutely new company who's just started yesterday. Would you still partner with me, or is it about the creds that I have built over the years that will help you decide?
So, it's actually both to an extent. So let's say you're a new company and I want to partner, and you are in a certain space right now. I'm definitely going to look at the credibility of what work you've already done, number one. Yes. And then the in-depth knowledge about that particular subject or the partnership also matters. In terms of what is the value add that we bring together. Like you could be excellent in certain things, and I could be, So basically it's about bringing the puzzle together. Now, when it comes to countries, when we're doing co-productions and any kind of, even over there, the marketing is very focused, right? So when it's a country, it's important to know the law of the land. And what is the kind of facilities that the government is giving, or what is the land is giving, and how are we doing about it? These are just like basic fundamentals.
Interesting. I think next question is to my neighbor, Avik. I think, Avik, I wanted to ask you about, everyone's just on this wave, and, we are always scared that once there is a wave, everyone just keeps riding on it. Do you think we are overdoing collaborations and partnerships?
The simple answer is no. I think collaborations is the way forward. It's not overdoing. I think it's like my fellow panelists mentioned. It's where I think brands are finding ways to be part of the cultural movement and be relevant. Where it helps is, culture lies at the intersection and not within categories. So it's from a category-led collaboration, which we had seen earlier, which is, let's say, a payment brand, a bank collaborating with a payment service provider, and so on and so forth. We are seeing very interesting cross-category collaborations. And culture lies at that intersection, right? Talk about the meals that McDonald's came up with different music groups, right? So those specialized meals is an example, and there are lots of them, right? So that's where it is, and I think it's just, we are just limited by imagination and the rigor of execution and discipline. So a simple answer is no. I think it's just the beginning, and you're going to see more and more of that. The only thing is, I think Gayatri alluded to it, you have to be careful about whether you're doing it with the right purpose in mind, you're asking the question as to why I'm doing it, and not just because everybody is doing it, then it's a bad partnership. So as long as that filter is taken care of, I think collaborations is the way to go, because previously, just to end, I mean, see, collaborations happened within the space. Now new territories are being opened up, just because brands are more open to sort of think about cross-category collaborations, yeah.
My next question is for Sheena, and I think Sheena has worked with multiple national award-winning directors. She's an artist par excellence. What makes a collaboration between, because largely this panel is about brand collaborations, but yours, I want to understand, how do people collaborate to create something, to create a form of art, and how do you see it changing or moving as we move forward in this world of AI and so on and so forth?
I think as an actor, the main collaboration that you have with your director is towards the script that you are given and the character that you create. The director is basically giving you a character in which you are in control of, and you are serving the script, which is for a purpose, which is so that you can really impact emotionally audiences. Now this goes in any format. It can be in any branding, because eventually you're communicating a message, you're creating a emotional impact. As much as I feel that the director in my world, because as an actor you're given scripts, you have to work on it, he's in charge of the story. I feel the control lies for him in that space. For me as an actor, my control lies more so in the collaboration space of what I can bring to the character, how I can collaborate, research, really understand and fit into the character that I'm playing, and serve the message of the script, the vision that he has. Now, in a way, that story that he's telling, I feel, Saurav, the most fruitful and enjoyable experiences have been the most collaborative ones, where you're exchanging energy, you're exchanging, a lot of, much more than just what's on the script or what the vision of the story is. And I think that is only when the actor really researches, works on his character, and comes on the set as a blank page for the director and really lets and surrenders, and then together you're creating a vision and being a blank page for your director, and that collaboration then becomes, so to say, we call in the world of cinema, magic. So for me, I feel this is true collaboration, and then everything else stems from there.
Thank you, Sheena. That's a very interesting answer, and also helps us understand about how this collaboration is not limited to two brands or a brand and a brand ambassador and so on and so forth. It actually exists in the realm that you can actually create from making new partners, as in when you go into uncharted territories. My next question is for Prashant. I think Prashant, and we were talking outside, and he just told me his wife is the happiest since the time he's joined Hari Krishna Jewels, because she's like, okay, he'll get me diamonds. So I think because, you told me this, and jewelry naturally is a deeply emotional experience, right, for a woman or even for men these days, and sensory. How can sound or, the storytelling with sound enhance the experience or make for a stronger communication?
So sound branding or sonic branding or sonic storytelling has been an integral part of branding since ages. If you see the work of our beloved Piyush Pandey, we were remembering him. He blended sound in his campaign very well. So whether it was Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, Har Ghar Kuch Kehta Hai, Do Boon Zindagi Ki, and so on and so forth, right? So sound or sonic branding has been integral part in India in overall marketing. India is an audio first country where sonic branding has 10x more potential of gaining attention of the people other than the visual. Now, coming to the jewelry is not just a product, it is an emotion. It is kind of a point of celebration where when people go buy jewelry and celebrate their occasion. And to trigger the emotion, sound is the fastest way of doing it, right? Internationally, Tiffany has done it by using soft piano tunes and whispered storytelling, which has generated curiosity among the customer, and that's the way they evoke romance and aspirations. In India, if you talk about the famous brand Tanishq, our competition, they've used warm sound so that people get in touch with their inner soul, understand their emotion, and get excited even before seeing the jewelry. And this is the case with other brands also. Some brands have used classical scores to evoke, to reinforce emotions and the tradition. Jewelry, we have observed in Kisna that jewelry shopping, especially diamond jewelry shopping happens, and it is tied with the key milestone. So whether it is someone's birthday or promotion or someone's anniversary. And when you tie this with a good sound score, it creates magic. It immediately creates the kind of bond you want with the customer. Coming from a company which is known for its tagline, "Come home to Siya Rams," I understand it and want to inculcate the same thing in the company that I've recently joined, Kisna by Hari Krishna Group. So this is confidential, and if this remains within the 4 or 6 walls of this room, we have recently shot a campaign and which will be releasing soon, in which we are using the key focus would be on the brand song along with the visuals. So yes, in jewelry, it is important to use the sound and sonic branding properly.
Guys, we all have confidential information. We all need to shh. Yeah, we can't say this to anyone else. I think my next question is for Shweta. And Shweta is a part of, a financial fintech company, Namaste Pay, based in Nepal. She's flown in all the way from Nepal, and thank you for that. My question, actually, I've always struggled because I'm an entertainment professional. I've only worked in the media and entertainment business. But what is the biggest challenge in forming partnerships in your industry, which is so regulated and so tech-led? What are the challenges or what are the things that you face the most?
Thank you, Saurav, for this question. So basically, fintech it's something that deals with your money. So there's a whole big challenge of trust when you build partnerships in fintech. Because I'll give you a very simple example. Betting is something that's not really legalized. So if you are partnering with a betting thing, I'm sure 70% of the users would just not stop trusting the fintech company because they're involved with betting. So trust is something that is so important for companies like us because people park their money into the accounts that we create. And for people to trust us to
consumers and brands, and you can see it on YouTube. Check out the case study whenever you guys have the time. It'll give you ideas of what is happening in the world. And I think over to you guys. Let's go chronologically. Savik, let's start with you.
Okay. I just wanted to borrow from the last question that you asked, which is about the importance of data. I think it's a classical situation of marrying the science with the art. And partnerships is a bit of that. I mean, while you can have all the data that you can analyze and say these are the right partners for me, is it the only way of striking a wonderful partnership? May not be the case, because when you're pushing the boundaries and chasing new frontiers, you may not have the data to sort of do it. So I think if it comes back to what I was, I think, earlier saying, which is if you have the right purpose in mind and then work with the data, I think you can do that.
Absolutely.
Now with that comes my example. One of the things that comes to mind is, for example, Red Bull and GoPro. That combination was not done because they wanted to just have an awareness, right? They did it because they wanted to embed the experience and come up with those imagination-defying stunts, which, if you think of both the brands, both of them exist for that in a way, right? And that was like a marriage made in heaven. So a beautiful example of where would data tell us that this would be a great partnership? No, but did it create magic? Absolutely it did. So just as an example.
Great,
of that.
I think that helps.
I think I live my case study example since last 3 years, which is Coke Studio Bharat. I think for me, it's the greatest and the most authentic collaboration between a brand and a brand that wants to work for the culture and fusion, and collaboration between artist and storytelling. So I'm very proud of being a part of this revolution called Coke Studio. I think this is authenticity.
Thank you, Preeti.
For me, I think the collaboration between McDonald's and Coke that stands out even till today, because food partners best with drinks and they nailed it. It's been there since ages, and both the brands have leveraged to that partnership. If we think about Pepsi partnering with sports like cricket, even that was a bang-on partnership which runs still today. The success of Pepsi in India, it's phenomenal because they partnered with cricket.
Absolutely. Yes, Sheena.
For me, I think the most fruitful partnerships are ones which are very purpose driven. By that I just mean is, I am also an ambassador for the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I've been working for 10 years as a South Asia ambassador. I really believe in human rights and equality. Now, when I get a film which aligns with that belief and vision, what a dream it is. So I did a film which just released 4 months back, Sant Tukaram. It's a Hindi film. Please do watch it. It'll be out soon on Amazon or Waves, one of the platforms. And the film is about a saint who brought about a spiritual revolution by bringing about a human revolution and fought for non-discrimination in the society. And I play Avli Jijabai, his wife. And together, I fight a lot with him first because I want his love and he doesn't give me his attention. And then I fight with him to create that equality of an awareness of basic rights. So, Saurav, when you get a project which aligns with a purpose, which has a great message of uplifting the culture and communicating a larger message. This was about discrimination and bringing about a man who brought about a true spiritual revolution and a cultural revolution. He ended the Dalits, he ended the women's, a lot of the fight was against this inequality that existed in society. His story is studied in history books today, Sant Tukaram. So for me, that has been the most fruitful partnership. Please do watch this film, Sant Tukaram. It will be out soon. So that kind of, I think when you're doing something that's rooted to uplifting culture or a good message or has something that impacts the society in a positive way, for me, those have been the most fruitful partnerships.
That's fantastic. You got to live your experience.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be my early days in back in 2010. When I was working with a retail company, Reliance Retail basically. So we spoke with SBI Card and we kind of fostered this alliance. It was kind of win-win alliance for, not win-win, win-win-win. So there were 3 wins, one for the SBI, one for Reliance and one for the customer. So this was one of its first kind. Now you can see every campaign is incomplete without those cash discount or bank card offers. It was started by the great team and luckily I was part of it. So that very month when we started this, our number of bills grew by 7% and average bill value grew by 5%. So that was kind of first and the best alliance we have worked on till now. Also to support the view of our fellow panelists that the alliance or partnership must share the same values and it has to be purpose driven. So there are several fantastic partnerships across the world. There are few which tanked. So one example is one famous pan masala, onboarded Pierce Brosnan as its brand ambassador. It tanked because Pierce Brosnan knew nothing about the product. They didn't share the same value. So tomorrow if Versace decides to shake hands with Chiny Kenny, it might not work. But
wow.
if they are doing
the
this
collab we never expected.
But if they are doing this with say Marriott or Taj Mahal Hotel, it will.
Yes.
I'd like to speak about Seiko, Saurabh. Of course, we've done multiple partnerships and collaborations. I think as a case study, if you want me to speak about, I would speak about our association with the World Athletics Championships. Wow. We've been timing the IAAF for the last 50 odd years, and we share the same passion and perfection of what a sportsman looks forward to. So I think that's been one of our big case studies or stories for the world of timing in sports.
We've all seen that and heard of that, yes. Yes, Gayatri.
Yeah, I talk about creative partnerships. One of the most impactful and the most highly engaged partnership was Shot on iPhone. That stands to be the most amazing, and that's a great beacon for creativity, complete creativity, freedom, and it is fantastic to see, how consumers engage, and they're putting the pictures there, and they want their name to be there. I think it was one of the most smartest partnership and high engagements. One of very interesting partnership, which a little bit of a memory back, is there was a film called Three Idiots, in which we had plenty of partnerships, but the one which stands out is that on an auto rickshaw, it had Three Idiots pasted behind because the seating were three. So that was like something that was fantastic in terms of like people could like really identify. So every auto rickshaw had like a branding of Three Idiots, three seats, Three Idiots. Yeah.
Yeah. So media and entertainment, which is my industry, I've been here for the last 24 years. It's a very unique piece, The input is a product, okay? Which is tangible, you can touch, feel, hear. The output is intangible, experience, happiness, sadness. It's a very unique industry, number one. Number two, it's also one of the rare industries where you pay in advance. Any media and entertainment product, you pay in advance. 500 rupiah do, then you are allowed to go into the movie hall. You pay annual subscription in advance, then you are allowed, you don't know what's going to come there, right? Even the platform doesn't know, by the way. But it's all built on trust. So, couple of years back, when I launched MX Gold, that was a subscription for. So at that time, there was a huge range of buy now, pay later.
Correct.
BNPL, right? So what we did as an innovation was, why should money stop you from being entertained and spending your time on happiness or whatever? What we did was watch now, pay later. If your wallet doesn't have money, if your payment partner is having issues, no problem. For that, we locked in a fintech. So my new audiences, because it had to be, KYC and all of that. So it was a win-win. It was a huge. The writing was on the wall. The world was saying buy now, pay later. So why not?
Very interesting, actually. Very, very interesting. I think largely this conversation has been about how partnerships are actually evolving each of our industries and each of the work that we're doing. And we heard some great case studies as well. I think it's time for us to close this discussion because they have an award ceremony lined up. But thank you everyone for being a part of this, and it's been very, very interesting, and thank you for allowing me to ask you questions. Thank you so much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Raju Bhatia. I'm the chairman of this program, and I want to say something to all of you. In everything that we're trying to do today, is there our ability to think, feel, and act and believe that it's going to be sustainable? And if there is, then what is your scope to define, to express to this lovely audience, which is largely marketeers, brand builders, and those who believe that the future lies in nothing else but in being sustainable? I would like to leave this open to anybody on the dais who would like to make a point.
I think when you said that, how do we create a sustainable business from whatever we have learned so far, I'll tell you my industry, there is nothing called a sustainable business. I'm learning every year, and every year I'm changing my business into something else that's working. 4 years ago, you guys were all going to YouTube and watching content of TVF. In the last 2 years, there has been no content that's come there, which means where are people going? They've moved to OTTs. OTT was making 25 shows till last year. Today, they are making 10. So I have to constantly evolve and think of new businesses. So I will rather try and fail than not try at all, and that's what I've been doing. So every year we are creating new ways of building the business. Very interesting, we've just launched something called Glamstream, which is an OTT of Myntra. So we've built social commerce and content. So that's maybe where the industry is going, but it might be irrelevant tomorrow, so I don't know. The answer is to figure it out.
Now, are we creating confusion in the minds of the consumer? Is it that there are go back to the Adam Smith economics. Whatever is produced is sold. The wealth of nations. So are we creating confusion as a nation? No?
We are not creating confusion because the viewer is not an unintelligent person. He's just rejecting your...
But the viewer is frivolous. Where's the time?
That's exactly, which is why he's rejecting you, and you're like, okay, this is not working. He's very, very forthcoming about his choices. So even if you are giving him options, I don't think he's going to take your options if they're not good enough.
Yeah, I think we are creating choices, more choices day by day. And what's that?
More choices than necessary.
More choices, because the business is expanding. There is diversity. Like I'll give you one simple example. There was a time when there used to be just about 12 rights. When I mean to say 12 rights, which basically means a content had a theatrical, a DVD, a TV. That's it, right? But over a period of time, those 12 rights have gone to almost like 154 rights. You know, so there is expansion of the market. Now, your question to sustainability. The sustainability is basically, I think the other word would be innovation. If you have to sustain your business, you've got to embrace the change, and you've got to innovate, move with time.
Sounds good. Thank you. You want to make a...
No, I have a sort of a counterpoint here, which is, I believe the future lies in being simple, right? Tools are getting... Tools are getting more complex, so technology will evolve. But what will not change is clarity and consistency, right? And those things will stay. And I think the brands that will succeed more and more are people who will be able to subtract rather than add on more, keeping their core belief or the focus. And that's where the winning and sustainability will come from. That's my point of view.
You know, there's this huge debate right now when Sir says sustainability. There's always this question about AI and then sustainability and what will happen about the future. Well, like sort of said, we have to evolve every single day. There are just two things I really believe in. One is, what are we motivated by? What are our actions motivated by? Is it motivated by duty, or is it motivated by money? We have to find that answer ourselves. That really determines sustainability. And secondly, as long as there is human emotion, and we can communicate that and touch and uplift and inspire and move people, nothing can beat that. So sustainability really depends upon us.
We as a company have identified 4 key such SDG initiatives. And of course, we have introduced that today largely in our manufacturing process, in packaging, in consumer touchpoints. So that's something what we are consciously giving back to the society today through the UN SDG initiatives.
Just to tell you, I founded the World CSR Day 14 years back. There's a very controversial video floating around. I'm an Indian, and I'm very proud Indian. Dharti Putra hu main. Or I'm very proud to be an Indian. So 14 years back, when 18th of February we celebrated World CSR Day, there is no kidding that they couldn't accept. एक हिंदुस्तानी है यार, क्या आएगा इसको यूनाइटेड नेशंस में खड़ा रह के वर्ल्ड CSR डे की बात कर रहा है. And there was so much of snub.
Yeah. No, I think
so that evolution, no, somebody spoke about evolution. That evolution occurs only when you are snubbed in life. Only when you are snubbed in life. Remember, Shah Rukh Khan's recent video, it just touched me. I was researching a few days back for Imtiaz. Imtiaz will snarl at me if I tell him this. I was researching for this World Marketing Congress opening, and I have 1 or 2 videos which are in my pocket I want to show you today. Shah Rukh Khan said a very beautiful statement. I mean, I dance at weddings, I do other things, I act, I make people laugh, I make money, I go to the gym, I look very young, but nobody knows heart of hearts what pain is inside me. And I thought that was a beautiful video, because he has a sister who's differently able. She has sheer shock, psychosomatic shock, and in that shock, the evolution has not occurred. So our evolution stops when we are in a state of shock. Sorry, you're making, somebody wanted to make a point. That'll be a real quick one.
So I know we have a habit of solving for issues which do not exist. For example, did we ask for a smartphone? We were very happy with the feature phone, right? Did we even ask for a feature phone? It was made and then sold. And then there was a problem, and then did we ask for a 4G, 5G, 6G? No, we were very happy with a 2G line. Did we ask for AI as consumers? We were happily leading. Now tech enables better living for consumers. Then there is a problem, and then we solve it, and then we earn more, and then we come here on the stage.
Oh, you bet, you bet. We have to go back to our roots. So that's why I live in a village. I'm a farmer. I gave up all my life to live in a village, and I'm a pet parent. I have 24 dogs whom I own, and I love them. Cows, I've got blind birds. And I hug trees. I have 200,000 trees whom I hug every day. I talk to them, so it's a fun. Okay, but for now I have to say a special thank you to all of you. Love you all for what you've said today. And it reminds me of a cliche when I was teaching. Chetan gives me a job sometimes when I'm in need of money. I love you, Chetan. Keep giving me lots of jobs. He gives me a job to teach, and I was teaching my students. I don't know if they're here. I taught them the world is in the market is in the world. So सब कुछ बिकता है क्योंकि दिखता है, तब जाके हमारी उन्नति होती. चलिए आप ये दे दीजिए. ताली भी नहीं बजाई यार ये ऑडियंस. ये देखो क्या मजा नहीं आता है जब कोई ताली नहीं बजाता है तो. Look, hurry up, give them the thank you mementos. We are tremendously against time.